commentary from the pen? Commentary from the pen? Why not? This is the dream team, brother. Sorry? I can't see him. Might be an idea. Wake him out of a slumber. Good on you, bro. Comments. Semi-final round? Yeah, it's another one.
Alright, Unsquashable Premier League, week 3, semi-final round between Jack Conder and Beddoes. Jack Conder is third, player ready.
Shooting.
And out, 1-0.
So, yeah, it's on. Yeah. Start off in the seat.
And out, 2-1.
Welcome everyone to the Unsquashable Premier League round 3 semi-finals. First matchup, we've got Beddoes back again, and Jack Conder, one of the local juniors. Definitely a bit warmer today, Temwa.
Yeah, it is. Sun's shining outside, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite nice. So we're playing a bit earlier, sun's shining.
Ball's looking quite bouncy on there.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
This could be an interesting matchup.
So that's kind of what we're expecting, isn't it? That Lance is going to move Jack around and then pick him off.
Yeah. Jack needs to stay structured as possible. Predictions, Johnson?
It's difficult, isn't it? Because we know Lance is going to be sore from last night. And can Jack keep him on court long enough to nick a game?
Yeah, that's the question. That's the big question, isn't it? Shot.
Yeah, if he keeps feeding him balls like that, it's going to be 3-love, isn't it? But Jack doesn't give up, so we know he's going to run for everything.
Yeah, I think he just needs to try and make it as physical as possible, doesn't he? Without making errors like that.
Yeah, it's a big confidence shot for him, that backhand drop. If it's working, he's very confident. If it's not, I guess, do you have a confidence shot?
Oh, probably my volley drops, actually.
You
you stop playing them when you start clipping the top of the set, eh?
Yeah.
And you sort of just keep punching it long.
Lads having a bit of fun down there. How often have you played Lance competitively?
Yes, once.
How long ago was that?
That was at what club was that? Probably about 2 years ago.
Okay.
I lost 3 love, and I was knackered after it. He got me heaps with, it looks like he's gonna hit a neck, and then he hold and cross courts it long,
Yeah.
and I was just going up front and then going all the way back. I think I was just A2
Shot.
at that point.
Yeah, we've definitely seen a lot of young guys made to look a bit silly playing Lance.
Yeah,
In the past, haven't we?
definitely, yeah, myself included.
Yeah.
It's a good start from Lance, so good experience there. First game was only 4 minutes.
Yeah, he's going to like that for sure.
Yeah.
Now, you've got a bit of a huge matchup coming up later on today.
Yes, I do. Rematch.
I see the smile
Rematch
on
from
your
last
face.
week's semi-final.
No, I won't say the draw was rigged because I get criticised for rigging things. Totally unfairly, of course. But you've got a rematch, son.
Yeah, I
That's
do.
very
I'm
juicy.
lucky enough. Yes, I know.
And it's a goodie, actually. It's a real goodie, so we're looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
So have you done anything different this week in preparation for that?
Yes, definitely. I've hit every day for starters.
That's helpful, isn't it?
I've soloed this morning. No, actually, I did a paired hit with my roommate John.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, last week I think I was a bit sloppy leading into the tournament. So I think I'm a lot more professional this week.
Got him.
Oh, got him.
Oh, that's one for the highlight reel.
Got
There we
him.
go.
Giving Lance a bit of his own medicine there.
Yeah, we've seen Elijah training a bit this week, and he's looked pretty good, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's just
Quite
got him.
professional.
Yeah. Just got him better and better, hasn't he? I think he's definitely done the best out of these guys who weren't hitting over the break.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been the most regular player to come in and hit and train, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's also done a lot of the off-court training sessions, which, I mean, obviously the other guys do them. We just don't always get to see them.
Yeah, we don't always get to see it.
Shot. Oh, look at that.
It's a great shot.
Jack seems a bit more relaxed in this game. Obviously, just managed to adapt a little bit from the first game. So.
Yeah.
Shot.
Doesn't quite look like he's forcing it as much, does it? He looks
Yeah.
a little bit more, relaxed. Like you
Yeah, it
said.
looks like calmer to me. He's
Yeah.
just trying to. Oh, look at that. Shot.
Classy shot there from Lance.
Bit of a signature on that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice to catch that. A few of those last night as well.
I wonder how his body's holding up from his match last night against Leo, who's now in the semi-finals.
Yeah, it was really, couldn't have ordered a better performance last night in terms of going all the way to 5 and then extra time.
Yeah.
And he hasn't played for 3 months, so it doesn't matter who you are. That's going to hurt, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Just talking to him earlier about how boring his quarantine for 2 weeks was.
Shot.
A few lucky guesses there, eh, from Lance.
Yep.
He does well at reading the game, though, I've noticed.
Absolutely, yeah. Spent a lot of time on court.
Yeah.
And, shot.
San's doing well at seeing those outs, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's quite hard to see it from his position as referee.
Look, it's difficult sometimes, at the best of times.
Yeah.
And then you watch the replay and you still can't tell sometimes.
Yeah. Shot.
Shot. Thank you. 2 love to Lance, looking quite comfortable. Jack
Still
made a
under
good
2
start,
minutes.
and then Lance just ran away from it in the end.
Yeah.
Case of Jack dropping off or Lance up in the level?
I think Lance has sort of just stayed the same, really. Stayed pretty, what's the word? Do you know what I'm thinking? Consistent, very consistent, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Jack sort of playing well, dropping off, and playing well again.
Yeah, well, I think...
Just the experience.
Yeah,
maybe.
I agree with that. I think Lance just picked his level up a little bit and had a bit more purpose in some of his placement to get Jack flapping, basically.
Yeah.
And then it was easy for him to pick him off. But it's fun to watch, it really is. It's also fun to see the young fellow trying to take Lance on his own game with the odd flick.
Yeah.
And getting away with it.
Getting him as well. Don't think Lance will like that.
Yeah, it's humour, isn't it? It's not working, brother. What are you worried about? Shot. So we've heard a rumour that your brother might be coming back. Can you substantiate that rumour?
Making an appearance back at SquashXL.
Okay, well that's...
So he's hoping to get in next Saturday.
Perfect. Very juicy.
Should be good. 2 weeks of quarantine will hurt him, but
yeah,
he'll get back 3 weeks' time. Make training a lot better for us, won't it?
Yeah. We'll be interested to see what condition he's in at the start.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
How long it takes him to sort of get back. Yeah. To the level. Yeah. Shot. Good shooting.
Jack started well again here. See if he can stay consistent.
Yeah.
Got it that time.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, great shot.
He's not panicking here, and I think same as the last game. If he can stay calm through the game, he'll do better.
Yeah, I think you're right there. So they just keep forcing those errors, really, doesn't he?
Oh, that's nice. if he can stay focused like that, he's got a chance of taking this to 4. And then anything can happen.
Sure.
8-2.
I think there's definitely a drop off here from Lance though.
Oh, shooting.
Just as I say that.
3-9.
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
And out, 10-3.
So you've been training with Jack a little bit, like he comes and hits.
Yep.
Since we came into level 2.
Yep.
How do you sort of feel he's tracking this year? Do you think he's improving?
Yeah, I think he's definitely improving. I think everyone knows out there who's watching probably, if they've watched him before, that he's he never gives up. So he's quite really fit, can pick everything up, and always tries his hardest. I think he lacks a bit of technical work, but I think that's just getting better and better this year, as opposed to last year. I think he's doing well with focusing on small things, isn't he? I think Joel's coaching him a little bit at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, he does have a lot of things to work on, but I mean, I guess every squash player does. So
Yeah, exactly. I'm still
just
working
some
on
things
many
are a bit
things.
more obvious.
Yeah.
One thing that I've particularly enjoyed watching with him is that he's not just hitting the crap out of everything.
Yep.
He's starting to lift and place the ball and vary his pace, and he's starting to show the benefit of some of the mental work that he's been doing, so that you're not seeing that sort of classic junior fury on court. There's a lot more. You still see it, but
Still see it
not
in
all
patches,
the time.
but
You
yeah.
know, and
It's not just all length anymore, is it?
yeah, you know,
Got a
yeah,
bit of
he's
variety.
playing more shots too, yeah, but he's also seems a lot more in control mentally on the court, off the court, in training, and that's quite satisfying to watch, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm liking his structure now. I like it. He can sense when he's had a good length, then to go to the front, and then
Yep.
when to punch it back. It's good to see.
I think what the players have to learn, 2 minutes, champ. What the players have to learn is that as you get better and better, there are certain situations where you just can't hit your way out of. You've got to defend or be very smart about your shot selection.
Yep.
Whereas as a good elite junior or a decent club player, you can often smash your way out of situations, and against better opponents you just can't do that.
No, yeah.
And you have to you have to adapt your game, don't you?
Yeah, you do. There's a difference between that junior level and the upcoming professional levels, I think. It's definitely something I'm working on at the moment, trying to defend better.
Got him. Shooting. Done it again.
It's definitely a faster pace though, isn't it, from up?
He definitely wants to end it quickly, but with pace as much as shot quality.
Yeah.
That's a good lift. Oh,
Ooh, just wrong shot selection there from Jack.
so you said you've only played Lance once, but you've obviously watched him play a lot.
Yeah.
What do you like about his game?
I'd have to say, I like his racket work. He's got a really good good. He's really good with his wrist, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's got a good flick, so he can do a lot of things from the same racket preparation.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what I like the most about his game. Really deceptive, good shot quality, especially back in the day when he was training professionally.
Have you played him in doubles? Because he likes his doubles.
Yes. Me and Anthony played Lance and Zach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, last year.
Oh, what was that in?
I think it was 2-1.
Which tournament? Was it Papakura doubles or was it?
Yeah. Is that the Simo and Sids?
Yeah,
Sids one?
yeah,
That one.
Nice one.
Yeah,
Really
he's good at doubles. Had a lot of experience. Played Commonwealth Games doubles twice, if I'm right. Yeah.
Good serve from the young fella.
Pace has gone up here in this fourth game. Jack's managed to do well to hang in there, I think.
Yeah, he's
Didn't let the lead get too far, did he?
no, he's making the most of the opportunity, which is smart. I like it. I guess the closer he gets, the more opportunity he has.
Yeah. His Lance started quite well in this game, but Jack's managed to hang in there.
He's got to run those balls down.
Yeah.
He's done it again.
He's done it again. Good left.
Thoughts?
Ooh, I think that definitely just
That was a home call, that was.
outline.
For
Did
sure.
you not think? Did you think that was in?
I thought it was in.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was out.
Shooting. Nice finish.
Good way to finish. Right idea from Jack. It's decent left.
Yeah, nice finish. It's kind of what we paid the entry fee for.
Yeah.
Watch old Lance, he slot a few nets.
Yeah.
And he didn't disappoint there. So Lance Beddoes takes that 3 games to 1. We'll take a short break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. His mum's washing, is it? You guys have good job of turning the microphone off. I'll be thinking this is grinder. Yeah, George is taking a break from the old pegging website. He's off grinder and back on whatever. Let's stop that now. Stop it. Oh no, it's off. Oh no, we just need one more game to like really
Submit your submit national work.
Yeah, to really just get that experience.
I'll jog it up.
It's wake now, is it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Do you feel like it? Do you feel like it? Probably should, eh? Yeah, if you can, if you don't mind. I mean, you got that fan, Sinister Dark, who would like you to commentate. Your mate's been commenting. He's made more comments. You know that dude? He's made a couple more comments on his video. Well, not really, like, just that he's like your fan, and he's your top fan and all that kind of stuff. Oh, really? Yeah. It's pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely, brother. No, it's another one. It's the Sinister Dark. Love it. working. Got patience. So I'm multitasking. That's all right. I mean, I thought you did it right. I didn't even know how to play it. I mean, the thing is, when you yeah, I mean, the thing is, he's hard to play. I mean, I saw him sort of fall out of the larger he's hard to read. He's not played it before. And he's trying to play it. I actually thought he was really good. I'm not just saying he's proper. I mean, he won for him. It's a bit shit. You know, maybe. And the thing is, like, the first game you kind of cracked a bit. And then the second game, he seemed a lot more calm, a lot more controlled. So I think it's a decent performance, really. I mean, the main thing for you is obviously focus on becoming a better player. Just a decent performance tomorrow. Which if you do it, probably do it too. Predictions here, I'm going to go, because Michael won last time I played, I'm going to go green in 4. And green's a really sharp, he's not as sharp as Elijah. It's funny watching him. He's got better, but Elijah's he's gone up there too.
Welcome back for match 2. We've got Michael Shelton-Agar serving, the boss baby, Glenn Templeton receiving. Second of our plate semi-finals today. Nice length from Michael. He's a bit more fired up, I think, than he was yesterday, where he had a bit of a slow start. I think playing 10 wire as well. Last up was a bit tough. He's really handled himself well in this series, Michael, coming in as a replacement for Chris van der Sam. He's put in some good performances, had some wins that were perhaps unexpected. So all credit to him for doing that. A lot of people have commented on his style. Definitely has a different wrist position on the racket. Likes to go for his shots. Pretty sure Michael likes his calisthenics, so you might see him in a gym ripping out a front lever or something one day, but he's certainly a pretty handy skipper, likes his double unders. Glenn's come out well here and it's taken a lead 4-2. Glenn played Elijah last night. Elijah's been one of the form players of this event, and it was a good match. Some very, very good squash in there actually. If you get a chance, either check last night's feed or jump on our YouTube channel for that match, Elijah versus Glenn Templeton. Glenn's definitely come on in this series, but I think Elijah's just benefiting from perhaps having done a bit more work in the lockdown period, and he looks pretty sharp right now, which good on him for doing the work. Really looking forward to his match later on tonight. So Glenn cops a lot of criticism for his movement on the court, but to be fair to him, for a very big guy, he doesn't create a lot of interference, so I'm sure he'd like to be quicker and move better, but he's quite good at clearing the ball and moving around the court. You don't see a lot of traffic through the middle when he's playing, and for such a big guy, that's a credit to him. Glenn loves his doubles. He partners a lot with Leo Fatialofa, who's on next against Joel. And they've taken out a couple of decent titles this year. They won the, last year, they won the Auckland doubles and the Bay doubles. They both really enjoy the doubles, and they both like to shoot, so the format suits them really well. So 6-8 in this game, and really no strong pattern set yet. Both guys just filing their way into the match. Nice finish there. Covered that well, had a good shot. Loves the scream, does Michael, when he doesn't quite execute, so you know exactly how he's feeling. Huge point coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Shot. Glenn takes the first one, 11-9. So before the series, we were working on nicknames for the players, and some of them were easier than others. The guy reffing right now, Jack Conder, pretty easy job to call him the pinball, the way he moves around the court. That was an easy one. And some of the other lads had nicknames already. Glenn, Templeton. We had a few options there, and we came up with Tiny Templeton because he's a big lad. But first night of the series, someone online gave him the nickname Boss Baby, and it's kind of stuck really. So if you haven't seen the show Boss Baby, and I have to say I've only seen a trailer, that's where he's got the nickname Boss Baby, and it's kind of stuck. So at least for the duration of the series, we'll see how long that one lasts. But the Boss Baby takes the first one, 1-love. Well, a couple of errors from Michael at the end of that first game allowed Glenn to take the lead. We'll see how he responds to that. Oh, shot! Absolutely dead nick there. We saw a lot of Glenn at the end of last year here in New Zealand. We had a satellite series that he played in all the events, and there was 6K and Junior Nationals all clumped together, so it was a very, very busy period in October last year, September, October. And he came through that well, had a very, very good Junior Nationals, won the final, a tough 5-setter over Elijah Thomas. Obviously these junior lads are gutted that at the moment World Juniors has been cancelled. I know there's some discussion about perhaps getting the event back on the schedule this year. Some of the nations are very, very keen to stage it. I guess we'll see what happens. It's hard to predict the future right now. Good rally going on here. Michael a bit frustrated there. Just a little bit. There we go, decent length. Bit of humour in the crowd here. Michael's very irritated with himself. He's really contending in this match, but the errors are killing him. Obviously he'd like to get those errors out of the game and take a few more points. This time Glenn makes the error. He's been boasting quite a lot in this match. It's a little drier today. Last week and yesterday we had a lot of rain here in Auckland, and the court can get a little moist, and the boasts tend to slide a little more and the players lose the control they'd like. But today it's a bit drier, and I guess we'll see a bit more boasting going on from the players. As I say it. So the 4-point cushion, as a player, you'd generally be pretty happy with that. Like to keep the foot on the throat though and hold it for the rest of the game. Lovely shot there. Shot. Good shot out. So Glenn is from the Caddy Club, plays a lot out of the Devoy Club as well. Has spent quite a bit of time in Auckland playing out of the Henderson Club. He's very popular up here in Auckland. Nice lad. Unlucky there. Well, Michael's managed to claw his way back into this game, was 4 points down earlier on. Now he's got it within 1. Loose serve and gets punished by the straight kill. Good length. Glenn takes someone 11-9 and leads 2 games to love. He's just finishing these sets a little better than Michael, and deserves the lead. Michael's pretty frustrated. Hopefully he can get it back in the next one.
Seconds.
So we're back in game 3. Nice start from Glenn and takes a bit of pressure off really. 2-love up and now a 2-love start. Nice way to start the 3rd game. He looks pretty relaxed. He's moving quite well and playing his shots. I'd hope he's enjoying it down there. He's down. So 3-love, nice cushion. We've seen Michael put in some good fights in the last 2-3 weeks when he's been down, and he's come back. He was 2-0 down against Jack and came back and won in 5, and he beat Glenn last time they played, so he shouldn't lack for confidence to compete in this match, but he needs to fire up. and he needs to fire up pretty soon. It's a good shot from Glenn. Yeah, nice shot, nice straighten. Well, we've definitely seen Glenn grow in this tournament in terms of his performances. Not back to the level I don't think that he was at in October last year, but he's certainly improved with each match. Last night, he lost in 4 to Elijah, but Elijah's been training really well. I think it'd be harsh to judge him on that one, but he's definitely improving each match, each week. And he looks pretty relaxed out there today. Quite looking forward, I have to say, to seeing him play Lance tomorrow. That will be very interesting. Shot. Well, that's classic Michael there. Always happy to shoot. He's got plenty of shots. He's shown today quite a few good straight and cross-court kills. But he's running out of time here. He needs to string a few points together, otherwise Glenn is just going to keep motoring to the finish line. Not with that one though. If you're going to lob Glenn, you've really got to get it up. He's a big lad. So he takes 5 match balls. Shooting. Well played, guys. Glenn takes it, 3-love. Composed performance, and he gets the pleasure of the company of Lance Beddoes tomorrow. We've got a little break for a couple of minutes, or 10 minutes, sorry, and then we'll have the major semi-finals. First up, Joel Arscott against Leo Fatialofa.
You must be up for some comments, bro. You must be up for some commentary. Commentary? Sure. Joel, Leo commentary? Sure.
When you go get something to eat, but then I'll be back.
Alright, okay. 10 minutes, bro. 10 minutes, son? Super juice, I'm happy to finish on that. Actually, Joel is he's definitely on his first game too. Whether you like him, Leo's beaten him. Yeah, and Leo just wins. sure they are. Yours have been broken out.
Probably the best squash we've ever had.
That's the only thing I don't like is that is quite hard. And you've got the squat here, and the angle is quite out of the shoulder. Those are amazing grades. The decency is amazing. The other ones are quite better. Instead of breaking, yeah. You guys just know shoes. You can't make a shoe. Yeah, much better. Lighter, and the same properties as lighter.
Yeah, that's right.
These guys,
They're just shoes, they think.
John, do you know like that? They might just
There's nothing else on.
Is he even a pro?
So we're back for the warm-up of our first major semi-final. Top seed Joel Arscott, last week's winner, up against Leo Fatialofa. Now for any of you people out there that maybe don't know the backstory with these two, Leo's had a couple of wins over Joel, one in one PSA satellite and one in a local open. So he's really going to fancy his chances here, and he's going to want to get into Joel for sure. So if you're thinking that top seed's going to have a cakewalk here, that's certainly not what I'm expecting. Leo had a good win last night against Lance Beddoes, first time he's ever beaten Lance, so that'll give him a bit of confidence, even though obviously Lance was out of condition. And I know last time they played, Joel got their 3-love, but the first game was very close. I think Leo had a decent lead and Joel just clawed it back. Leo is a dangerous opponent. He can win a game off anybody pretty well, and Joel's pretty well aware of that. These guys have trained a bit together through various New Zealand squads. They know each other's games pretty well. So there's no mystery. Joel generally would want to play fast and straight. That would generally what he likes to do. Generally likes to take it early. But he's got to be careful, because if he's not accurate doing that, then Leo's the kind of player that will pick you off. He's got the shots, and if there's no point moving him around the back, if you give him anything, he'll put it away. So certainly a good contrast of styles likely here, and definitely not a foregone conclusion either way. So here in New Zealand, we've just started with more local events coming onto the schedule. So we have a calendar each year, and was disrupted by COVID obviously, and just started to see a few events come onto the system. For these guys, they're interested in playing opens, so other level events, they can't play in them. And there's a few coming up. Northland Open in a couple of weeks' time, Waikato Open a bit later in the year, Franklin Open I think in about 2-3 weeks' time. So good for these players to see something, these events coming on board, and then an expectation that they will have the Nationals, New Zealand Nationals, sometime in August. Some doubt as to whether Paul Cole and Campbell and those guys will be back to playing it. Certainly Paul wants to play. I'm not sure if it's realistic for him to make it. We've got our top guy, Luamba, coming back in about 3 weeks' time from quarantine, so I'm sure he'd like to play it as well. Slight schedule risk at the moment. Australian Open's in the PSA diary at 26th to 30th of August, so hopefully there won't be a clash there and the guys will be able to play all these events. Still some doubt about when PSA will restart and in what form. The Aussies are pretty keen to run the Aussie Open and Coffs Harbour, so hopefully those events will go ahead. And we're hoping that we get this Trans-Tasman bubble, that we can get over there and without too much trouble, and they'll let us in, because at the moment the borders are closed. So there's some squash being played in Australia, as I understand it, and a few more states opening up shortly. We've certainly seen here that some athletes have obviously trained more in the lockdown period, and some have come back a bit quicker. I think it's a combination of what they did in the lockdown and how hard and how smart they've trained since we've come out. So we've seen some guys perhaps going too hard and struggling, and others going not hard enough and struggling. And so it's finding that middle point of getting the volume in, getting the intensity in, but still recovering. All the guys struggling a little bit for motivation. What's always entertaining though is when there's those key rivalries, they seem to fire up. So I'm expecting that here tonight. Leo is going to fire up. He's going to shoot. He's going to fancy his chances against Joel. And Joel's going to have to equally get a bit of intensity and put him under pressure so he can't hit his targets. Thank you. Nice touch there. It's kind of started how we'd expect. Leo happy to take the ball in, Joel trying to get in front of him on the court and dominate the middle. But neither player truly settled in just yet. Leo's playing a bit of rugby this year, so I'm told. Good to get that stimulation doing something else. He can still swing a squash racket, that's for sure. Takes the lead 3-2. Great length. We saw Joel play Jack Conder last night, and it was a bit of a conditioned game really, where he had a lot of length early on. Found his length and his accuracy in that match, so it was a good blowout for him. Be looking to do much the same today, but just with a bit more variation. The main thing for him at the start is to pick these balls up, because Leo is going to shoot, and you've got to make him hit another ball, otherwise it's very, very difficult to play him. Joel's currently got a moustache, which I find particularly irritating, and I said to him if he doesn't win 3-love, I'm shaving it off. So that's his motivation tonight. We'll see how effective that motivation is. Good exchanges here, nice pace, good kill. Yeah, it's a good finish, good movement. So he's got a 2-point cushion. You'd normally feel that that was a nice place to be, but you can't relax against Leo, as we see there. Fires in the drop, a little bit of deception, and gets it back to 1. The old Aussie boast there from Joel. He was playing that quite a bit and then stopped playing it and got the result. Nice finish there again as well. So it's a good response because he's got his 2-point cushion back. Well, last night we saw quite a bit of maturity from Leo. Difficult for him to play Lance and get the result. And he kept fighting the whole way through. It was a very good performance. It was good to watch. Nice finish. Joel takes that one 11-7. Shot. One area that Joel's improved on in the last couple of weeks is when he senses his opponent going for a winner, he's a bit calmer on the pickup. And he's putting in good responses from those pickups, whereas previously he'd tend to rush into them and make errors. So I've certainly noticed that that's worked a lot better for him. 2 boasts in a row errors from Leo, so he'll want to cut that out. Bit of a scoop there. Bit of short game practice for the lads. Joel very quick onto that last ball. So I'm multitasking here today. Great winner from Leo. Very dangerous on the straight kill. Uses his height well. Gets over the ball. Multitasking today. Dave's paying the bills, so I'm doing the commentary with the lads, and still doing the scoring and the streaming, and occasionally a bit of coaching in between. Looking for Joel to maintain his structure through the whole game, this game. Last time I felt he dropped off a little in the middle of that game and opened things up a bit for Leo, so really looking for him to play to his plan through the whole of this game. So we'll see. Critical that he's quick onto the ball and gets those pickups, because Leo is going to fire the ball in. That's nice and tight. Well, I'm a huge fan of that shot. I like the straight short, and that's pretty low risk. I'm a big fan of the second bounce nick, rather. I thought Leo would ask for a lead on that one. Great length. So we saw there that not unhappy with Joel's shot, but because he went for the nick, didn't find it, actually set up the winner for Leo. Definitely prefer the 2 bounce nick on that shot. Oh, he's got it. Good rally, lads. Bit of humour there, behind the back shot. Joel doing a bit of mahi here. Grabs game ball. Very entertaining stuff. Leo just sees the ball very early, very high squash IQ, very hard to play. Joel takes it. 2 games to love. Well, Mum says the Mo's got to go, and I've got to say I agree with that 100%. But at this stage he's looking pretty good for 3 loves, so I'm not going to win that bet today, I don't think. He's raced out to a 4-love lead. It's good to see Leo staying positive. Well, if anyone watched the earlier game with Lance Beddoes, you might see a couple of similarities in technique between Lance and Leo, whether that's direct or indirectly with similar coaches for both, or Lance directly, but certainly a very, very talented squash player. That is a taxi, ladies and gentlemen. Joel just running away with this at the moment. I think he'll be happy that he's putting in a professional performance, but he cannot rest. Bit of doubt on that one. Yeah. Certainly look good from here. Nice hold and punch from Leo, but unfortunately Joel got it back and he made the error. Oh dear. So that brings up match ball. Shooting. Well, that's what we pay the entry fee for, ladies and gentlemen. Ah, great shot. Wonderful hands. So if you've got a 10-4 lead, first couple of points, okay. But a couple more, it starts to get very niggly. Oh, he's done it again. Just chop that one in. Oh, yeah. As I said earlier, a couple more points and it gets very niggly. This is a huge point. Oh! That is joke stuff. Something about being match ball down that's very liberating and resulting in some amazing shot play from Leo. He's got him again down the middle. So it's 10-all and we're going short, which means it's a 1-point shootout. Not quite what I expected from Joel, but there you go. Oh, he's got it. Yeah, some amazing shot play there, and it's always a risk playing Leo. If you just drop a little bit, think you've got a nice lead, he starts firing and things come off. So we're taking it to 4, and I think the Mo's got to go. We'll be back shortly. So we decided to come up with the short-long format for this competition as just a bit of humour, just to make it a little bit interesting. Yeah, we started to do the short long because back in the day when I was playing, you can tell I'm a slightly older fella, we had the option of calling short and long, and it was always interesting the way that it brought a dimension into matches of humour or almost gamesmanship between players as to whether they call short or long. And there were always players that would go short because they were shot makers, and runners who would call long. What we've seen in the tournament so far is that applies some of the time, but not all the time. We're seeing a lot of guys who you'd normally think would go short, like Lance last night went long, and then just before Joel, who you'd normally predict to go long, going short. So a lot of mind games there. It's a bit of humour, and we've certainly enjoyed having it in this format. That was down. Just catching the top of the tin. Yeah, it's great hands again. It's a little bit predictable from Joel, but Leo very, very quick onto that and able to make a very high quality shot. So at the moment, Joel guilty of too much short on short, and I'd like to see the ball in the back corners a little bit. It's getting cooler here, and this court rewards a good length. And if you can make someone do that, run corner to corner, it's a long way to go, let me tell you. So Leo's done a bit of a Lazarus here. He's come back from the dead, and he's competing in this game. We'll see if he can hold it together. Sure looks like he can. Probably not quite in that situation, but one of Joel's best shots. The quick backhand sort of soft kill. Ooh. So we're just seeing Leo's movement come off a little bit. Doesn't affect that shot though. Gets a sideball nick, ties it up 7-all. Bit of anger in that shot. He's got it. Oh! Unbelievable shooting there. Gets the lead 8-7, but he's done a lot of work, so let's see what happens next. Oh. Oh. Just seeing a couple of errors here from Joel on those pickups. And Leo's fired up here. He's definitely got a burst of adrenaline. So he's blowing right now, but he's definitely up for it. He's getting a few nicks every part of the court. Takes 3 game balls. Shooting. That's great shooting from Leo there. And we're going to 5, ladies and gentlemen. So Leo's out to a 2-point lead. Joel's up to his old tricks, chucking the ball away. Interesting call there. Well, it's 2-all. As we say, it's tight. Bit of extra pace here from Joel, and he's getting a result. Will he keep it up? That is the question. Still champagne squash here, ladies and gentlemen. 4-2. He's in trouble. Not quite a taxi, but definitely the wrong bus. That's a good shot. slightly higher intensity from Joel, and it's paying off for now, but he should not be dropping off, because Leo's ready to shoot at any time. Yeah. 7-2. Well, I'd normally say this is a pretty nice cushion, but after the third game, no one's safe till the fat lady sings, as they say. Gets a stroke, 9-2. So it's a good pattern of play from Joel. He can't just play length to Leo. Leo's quite happy running around the back. It's got to take him forward and hopefully draw the air in all parts of the court. That's a nice straighten. 8 match balls, but don't really want to have to use all of them. One too many. Good match, lads. Very entertaining match. So Joel gets there, top seed in 5, and we'll take a short break and then we're back with the match of the evening. Yeah, yeah. Leo, can you ref, bro? I know you're not the best ref, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I just need Joel to commentate. We're about to kick off the final match of the night, and obviously I'm horrendously biased, but I'm really looking forward to this one. We've got a good contrast of styles, and we have a situation where Timwa was pretty confident last week against Elijah, and Elijah came out on top. Good on him, played very well. So it's redemption time for Timwa, maybe, or it's 2 in a row for Elijah. Now it's sort of folklore in squash that if you have to beat someone 3 times in a row to say you've got the edge on them. So if Elijah wants to get the edge on Timwa, he's got 2 more to go. neither player has any excuses. The draw's been out for a while. They kind of know there's a decent chance in this format they're going to play each other. All of these matches are on our YouTube channel, so we get extensive viewing minutes from squash players and the general public, but also from these players. They jump on and watch their matches and do their analysis, sometimes on their own with their mates or with their coaches. And so they generally have a pretty good idea of what they need to do, what worked last time, what didn't work. And they shouldn't really have a lot of excuses. Well, certainly my guys, I don't feel they have any excuses if they're not too sure how they want to play or what game plan to apply. Timwar was playing very well just before lockdown, had a very good tournament at Eden Epsom, winning the Satellite. Prior to that, had won the Red Beach Open, which is a local tournament. And then had a decent Auckland Open, beat Anthony Lepper in the first round in a tough 4, and then lost in 4 to one of the Hong Kong lads, and played very well in that match. More recently, he's had a few health issues and he's kind of lost his game plan a little bit, so this competition's great for him, even though he's been able to train through lockdown to try and find that game plan again and get used to match play, real match play. Elijah's trained really well. He's still good in training. He's doing all the right things. I saw him doing a nice prehab accessory type session, bit of plyo in there as well during the week, so he's getting the work done off the court. I think he's doing a bit of work with Paul Price at the moment, so getting the head in the right shape, which is good. So certainly looking to address all areas of the game to improve, and that's what we expect to see from emerging professional players, and so it's certainly satisfying from our point of view to see a player approaching the game in that way. So I'm about to be joined by the soon-to-be hairless, moless Joel Arscott. Joel, your mother commented on the stream that the mo must go, so it's not just me, it's not just a vendetta from the old fella.
It's a trend that seems to come around every couple of months, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it's got to go, bro, but that was an interesting match. It was fun to watch.
I mean, yeah.
Not fun to play, I'm guessing.
It's just not fun to play matches like that, is it? Like, at all, really. You know, I was 2-love up and then completely lost my link and the ball softened up, and then Leo's confidence went through the roof, as you could tell, and then it was working for him, so made it pretty tough for me, but managed to try and stay as solid as I can in that 5th set. Just so hard to make those rallies any longer in the conditions and the way this court plays against a play like that, so it's a good challenge, but no, the mo must go. It's a never-ending battle to keep my moustache against my supporters. Didn't agree to that bet, but take it on the chin.
Yeah, some bets, it's just the way it is, bro, you know, like, it's like a lot of things in life. Sometimes someone else sets the rules, and sometimes you don't like it, but you just got to suck it up.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that philosophy?
Well, I'll be looking very sleek in the final tomorrow.
You'd be faster on your bike, mate, surely.
Possibly. I don't know how Tim was still wearing his track pants right now. I found it really hot on that court today.
So, your predictions for this match, Mr. Arscott? Or if not a score, how do you think it's going to go? What's the contrast here in styles?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a contrast. Physically Tim was a bigger bloke. Elijah's a
Really?
bit more of a leaner, faster player, and Tim likes to carve a few bows in, a few hold flicks. Elijah a bit more straightforward, traditional player.
Yep.
So good contrast, but yeah, I don't know, a little bit of tension after last week's match. I know Tim were personally has been firing up a lot for this match.
Yep.
I'm sure Elijah will be looking to continue his form from last week. So yeah, it's heating up. I'm looking forward to it. Score predictions though. I'm going to have to go with the Panda, just because I know how well he's prepared, compared to how I've seen him prepare for other matches. So, yeah, I'll have to go with him. I'm gonna say 3-love because 3-1's a cop out.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Yeah.
But Elijah's definitely capable of pinching a set, especially in these conditions.
I'm expecting a longer match today, regardless of the number of games. But I guess you never really know.
Couple of cheap points early on. Definitely can tell by the looks on their faces and their intent in that warm-up that it's looking to be a good contest.
Well, as a squash fan, I have to say that putting on a series like this with no PSA points and rankings and things on the line, you often worry if the games will be a little bit too exhibition-y and too friendly.
Yeah.
But what we've seen is there's a few rivalries here that some have been around for a while and some of them are new, but they create a competitive spirit that just kicks in, and we've definitely seen that in a number of matches over the last 3 weeks, and it's a true bonus for us because we saw this series as an opportunity for the players to get back on court and play. Never quite sure how good the matches would be. And we've had some very, very competitive matches, and the quality has just slowly improved each week as everyone's got used to being back in the heat of battle again. And this is a bonus Saturday afternoon. A lot on this match for both players, both in good shape, no excuses, and very juicy contest.
I guess the thing with everyone here is we all play each other all the time, don't we? So there's always going to be something from the past or something on the line from last time, and you sort of know what to expect. So I think that creates a pretty good atmosphere, especially for matches like this when you're playing week in, week out. It's a nice straightened shot out of the front from Tim Watt.
Well, that's what we want to see. He almost never plays straight from front forehand.
No.
And when he starts doing that, we know he's been a good boy.
Yeah.
Well, you missed my rant at the start, Joel, where I ran through sort of Timwa's history in the last few months and how he's looking to find his game plan again. And certainly his start so far has been encouraging.
It's not like you to rant.
Yeah, it's out of character, I agree. But got to do it for the fans back home.
Yeah, no, he's had a bit of a tough time recently with his sickness, but he's well and truly back on the horse. in the last couple of weeks.
Now, one thing we've seen as that ball exits the court is we've seen Elijah's short game really improve compared to our view of it last year.
Yeah,
So
definitely
his
softer
volley
hands.
drops and his drops off the ground much higher quality. Now, low tin, glass court,
Yeah,
white ball.
looks a lot better, doesn't it?
It makes it look better, but you've still got to have the skills to play the shot, and he's definitely gone up a gear in that regard, do you think?
I agree, yeah. It was pretty evident playing against him. Slightly more threats when you're on the back foot. Tim opting to almost go through Elijah there.
Well, I think he made the mistake last week of not hunting the ball down, and then he got a couple of no-lets.
Yeah.
And it was fair enough. I mean, the refs have got to call it on what they see it, and if you don't look like you're going to get there, obviously no contact. So he's certainly got a wake-up call in that regard. Puts the
There's that
pace on there.
forehand, yeah.
Patient though.
He says it's not his biggest weapon, but I have to disagree with him on that one. When he gets that ball in the right spot, in the slot, should I say, on the forehand, it's not very nice to play against.
Well, from a spectator's point of view, when you see him wind up that forehand,
Yeah.
you know something's
Yeah.
going to happen.
It's going to
And
explode.
it may not be good, but it's going
It
to be
sounds
worth
good.
watching.
Yeah.
Good little probing rally here. Elijah loves this.
Oh.
So
Yeah, good hold. Just waiting for Elijah to settle on the tee and then whipping it past him.
we've got 6-3.
Textbook Template.
Yeah. And it. Tim was generally pretty good on the score, so that was a good passage of play for him. Kind of stuck to his game plan pretty well. Got Elijah flapping a bit, but
Yeah, we're
another
disappointed
error.
with that one. I think that's 2 errors he's made on that shot. Or
Yeah.
he's just such a big boy, isn't he, Tim?
He's a big lad.
That's when you see him stand there to receive serve.
Yeah. He's lucky to get away with that. He's a bit casual on a couple of those defensive shots, and but he's still in the rally. So
You can just hear.
well, that's very generous.
You can just hear there's a lot more intent on the, or pace on the ball from Timler. For the people that watched last week, I'm sure they'll, or watched this matchup last week, I'm sure they could have noticed the difference by now already.
Well, we have our Tuesday night match analysis where we get Chileshe on the line, and the four of us go through a match. And it was Timwa's choice this week. Nice touch there. Wow, maybe that's karma. Yeah, so we did the old Zoom call, and Timwa chose his match against Elijah last week, so he's had the it's an unfortunate error. He's had the ripping in from the lads about his performance. So as I said earlier, no excuses for not knowing what to do. Good shot.
There it is.
Good defense from Elijah. Little hold and punch, nice move.
Good rally.
It's good length.
Oh. It's good squash here from the boys. Tough movements for Elijah on this rally.
Yeah. It's
And
an
he's
unfortunate way to end the point.
just catching himself.
Nine 5.
Killer seems to be very worried about the score.
He
in this
is.
set.
Nice shot. Well, we have a saying amongst the group, and we call it the Chileshe boast.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of fellas we know that are prone to chucking in the random boast. And it's one of their better shots for sure, but they are definitely guilty of overplaying it. Oh, we read it. Read it.
Try and do too much with it, yeah.
Yeah. Thoughts on the Chileshe boast, Joel?
Oh, I mean, I've played against it, I've watched it. Probably guilty myself once or twice, but I mean, the amount of times I've just watched the boys play and just thought, where the hell did that come from? Yeah. Goes without saying, it's an absolute shocker.
Kind of had to be after it hit the back wall.
I think a boast would have got him though.
Yeah, would have taken his head off.
Oh, great lift.
Yeah, he's overhit that slowly, but if you're going to get it wrong, overhit it.
Definitely.
He's got Elijah flapping a bit here, but he will
there's
recover. He drew the error, so takes the first one.
Tim looking very focused, taking the lead. 11-6. Are you gonna go?
Yeah, well.
So we're back for the second game. Tim were winning the first 11-6.
So, Joel, just for a moment, I'll ask you to pretend you're Paul Hornsby and tell me what you would have said to Elijah in the break.
Good question.
Is that a bit harsh? Do I need to give you some thinking time?
It's not too harsh. Pretty good thinking on my feet. I would have told him to use a bit more height, to be honest. I was feeling as though when he was on the back foot in that last game, he wasn't using the front wall enough to get back in front of Timwa. So, definitely would have said when you're at the back of the court, try and lift a little bit more, or out of the front as well. Oh, don't know how that got up from Timwa. So he's racing out to a 4-love lead already.
Definitely a lot more intensity from the Panda tonight so far. Very quick onto that ball. Good width. Needs to volley that one.
He's got it. Oh, well done. Court coverage from Timwa.
Good recovery from the big lad. Decent mass to move around.
There's a lot of mass there.
A lot of power to get up off the ground there and
Feel sorry for the floor on that one. It's good play though. I think Elijah's really struggling to find a rhythm in this match. You know, he likes to play straight and traditionally, and Tim was really breaking that.
Yeah, I think the pace is good, and the variation is good in that he's varying the patterns without going short too early and without opening things up. And that's what you need to do against Elijah.
Switch on!
Decent rant from the lad. Thoughts?
Bit of venting there from... Bit of a vent, should I say, from Elijah.
Okay. But he likes to do that, and if that's what he needs to do to fire up, so be it. That will be a stroke. 8-love. This is a bit of a surprise. Not that the Pandas come out fired up, but that Elijah's not countering it as well.
Yeah, it's a... professional stuff from Timwa. You know, he's carried on his momentum and he's picked up again in this set, and then Elijah with no response so far.
He's had a couple of good moments in this rally. He's definitely fired up, but the Panda can sense it.
Yeah, just
and
too good there from Timwa.
He's got an answer to everything.
He's looking the goods. That forehand again.
That's good length as well. Oh, it's gone for it. Surely Elijah's dizzy right now.
That's out of court, that one. And some
10 levels.
very subtle little holds in this match from Timwa, or in that rally in particular. 10 love, will he go for the...
I was going to say, he's going to serve out, or is he going to go for the bagel?
Is he hungry? Oh,
It's a good.
I'm not sure if he meant that to be that close. He's a nice guy, Tenzo.
Oh, oh.
Oh. So Timmo takes a second. 11 love. Don't think he meant to bagel him in that one, but just managing to squeeze one almost by accident. Nonetheless, 2 love to Timmo in under 20 minutes.
Pretty good squash. That's quite interesting. Well, pretty good performance here from Timmo to take that 1-11 love. Quite interesting. We've seen some pretty good squash tonight. I mean, Leo was just stunning earlier with some of his shot play, and we're now seeing a different style of play, but equally impressive, really. I think Teams was very controlled in that game, and obviously the dominance showed through. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
No, there's a number of adjectives I'm sure you could use to describe the squash that's happened tonight, with Leo's brilliance off his racket, and then this very dominating performance from Timmo. So it's enjoyable to watch, and just shows what can change over 3 weeks and 3 tournaments with all the same players. You know, you might think it's rather predictable, but you just never know what's going to happen with these boys.
Well, I think Elijah obviously listened to your commentary, Joel, because he's slowing the pace down.
So it'd be interesting to see what the response is here from Elijah. It was definitely competitive in that first game, and then Tim obviously running away with that second game of 11 love. So he's on the back foot.
Little bounce there.
It's good counter work though from Tim in that front corner today. Front left.
He's
Great
a bit
shot.
faster going in there.
Definitely.
And it makes a huge difference.
A lot more pace going into those front corners, onto the ball a lot earlier, and getting Elijah reaching back with those fast cross courts out of the front.
Bit of the unusual footwork there from the young fella.
Leave that one up to the viewers.
Nice hold and punch. Elijah gets a point. It's been a while.
On the backhand, of course.
Yeah, I mean, he just loves working up down that channel. He's probably played hours and hours backhand rails. And really, he plays a style that a lot of coaches will coach because it's a nice attacking style, not risky when you know what you're doing.
Oh,
He's had it on a string the last couple of weeks, playing that style. There he goes again, straight volley drop.
man, that's where he caught Timber out a lot last week. In that front left, that pattern of that straight volley drop, racket out in front.
Yep.
That ball's definitely died off.
It is.
Considerably.
I think the panda's dropped a little. He's got to fire up again. That's a very high quality shot. Done it again.
Oh, it's this pattern we were just talking about. It's good recovery from Templeton. Great shot. Just good work down this backhand. Yeah. Oh.
Does it again?
Gonna have to question that one myself.
Yeah, look, let's be honest, these balls are hard to call. And we've all watched a lot of PSA and we've said, oh, from the back view that looks down, and then you get the camera from the front and you see they got it under, and everyone's techniques and pickups now are so much better in terms of how aspiring players copy the top players' techniques and slide the racket edge under the ball, and even if it looks like it's bouncing off the floor.
I think that's a good call, to be honest. We've all had that feeling when your opponent, trickle both you up the front, and you've already gone one way, and then you see the ball, but it's just a little bit out of reach on the other side. So we've seen that quite a bit in PSA recently, haven't we?
Yep.
If the referee feels that you have taken the wrong line to the ball, they're pretty unforgiving with their calls.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're allowed to. That's a nice shot.
That's a very nice shot.
They know they have to give a let if you can recover. So just because you've taken the wrong line doesn't. They're back in the day they used to say created your own interference.
Yep.
But as long as you can demonstrate, you can get back to it. There's just not a lot of sympathy if you're not really proving that you can get it.
Great lob there.
If there's doubt, then
I guess the other thing that I feel sometimes they don't really factor in, well, they have more recently, but a few years ago they didn't really factor in how fast some of these guys are getting around the court. So even if they do go the wrong direction, more often than not they'll pick that ball up.
Yeah.
Especially with some of the dives and things like that are happening now. Oh, quick hands.
That's a good hold
well
punch.
Straightened.
Yeah.
Well straightened. A lot of hold punches from 2 minutes match, just eating into the legs of Elijah a little bit more.
Yeah, we see that because Elijah is got very good aerobic endurance, but not necessarily the fastest changing direction. He always covers the front, so he is vulnerable to the hold punch. But you've got to be good enough to execute it.
Definitely.
Get him on your shoulder, show the front and punch to the back. And then you've got to keep doing it because he generally picks it up.
Definitely a lot harder on the glass too, because it's a little bit harder to get that ball through the back. Last thing you want is to be feeding your opponent balls on their racket on this court. Here it is again though.
Nice bit of banter from the players there. Trying to get a bit of influence on the ref. Generally doesn't work, but it helps them process the rally.
They're both trying to take that ball early. It's just a bit of traffic, I feel.
Good length. That's good.
Yeah, good length again.
Well, he really had to volley the cross court a couple of shots earlier, and didn't, and that brought Elijah back into that rally.
So he's firing up here a little bit. 5-6 now.
Yeah.
Timu's just got to stay solid, I feel, and lost his length a little bit.
Yeah, he slipped back into that, play everything down the backhand and go short too early, which is what killed him last week.
Definitely.
And we'll see if he snaps out of it in
Maybe
time to
a
save
sign
the match.
He's relaxed a little bit. That's worked time and time again for him in this match. As you said, Timu playing a little bit straight and then taking the ball in short too early, which I think has put him on the back foot in this rally, but clawing it back.
Smart play from Elijah to slow the pace down there. Oh, at full stretch there.
Seen a number of cross-court drops actually, haven't we?
Yep. Yeah, well, you played a couple of shockers, but a couple of good ones too.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's
a tempting shot.
Yeah, of course it is, but I mean, how often does it really work? I mean, it's one of those things, not that often.
Looks good when it happens, but when it works out. But when it doesn't, you look like a complete idiot.
It's like a busy Saturday night. The taxis are few and far between. Another battle down the backhand.
Elijah getting the better of him on that counter.
Yeah. We said before it was a problem area for the lad, and so it proves again. Good serve.
Oh, he's gone well there. Good to see Elijah firing up.
Yeah. He generally
Is it a bit of a fight-up?
he generally puts in a decent performance, so no shocks there. Two-point lead for Elijah and 2 to go, so he's in a nice spot. He's got back into that probing straight backhand work.
Yeah, I feel his length has come back a little bit.
Yep.
Timu going short a little bit too early again. He's lucky with that one.
That was a shocker. Bit of banter on the court.
Good serve. Yep.
Ball is absolutely dead right now.
Very dead. And yeah, you can just see from that movement. So it's 9-all now. Very interesting.
Very juicy
Elijah.
right now.
Be interesting if this does go to 4. Really got to get that volley, don't you? Before that ball gets to the back.
Yep. And you've got to get a bit. Both players need to find better width. What's it called there? Oh. That was pretty close.
It's pretty marginal on those ones, isn't it?
Lots of passion on the court. Good to see.
Oh, great shot. That
It's
stayed very short. Don't think many people
one
have
of
gotten
those
that back.
shots that they look good when they go up, but oh my god, that was so close to not going up.
Yeah, yeah. Pressure's on. Oh, great shot. No.
Good game, lads. Well played.
So, Timor takes it.
Well, if there's any doubt about the intensity of that match, it was that pick-up from Timor in the middle of that final rally. It was a ball that I'd written off, and he threw all 93 kilos, or whatever his current weight is, at it. Probably pinged a hammy in the process and made the pickup. And got something on it. And I think it was one of the things that we talked about in the match analysis about the quality of his lifts and was it technical, what was going on there. And in my view, it was very much an intensity issue. It was more of a purpose type issue. And we saw today how much better his lifts were. And in that last pickup at the front, how that desire to get the ball is as important as anything else.
Very evident today,
yeah,
isn't it?
you know,
From
so
Timor.
that was a good performance. 11 love. He'll dine on that one for sure. I'll give you some props, Joel. Not often that you have the cojones to call a 3 love, but good on you, son.
I called it, didn't
You're
I?
a bit of a 3-1
Yeah.
kind of a lad. So 3 love, that was gutsy.
Surely
You
get to
got it
keep my
right.
mo for that one.
No, I was just going to say the mo's got to go, bro. You know, if you want to double down on the bets, you've got to make the bets up front. Hey, look, thanks everybody for watching today. Thought that final match would be the match of the night. Probably Leo versus Joel was. I mean, that was, you didn't enjoy it that much, but we certainly enjoyed it. If anyone wants to see how to hit a lot of winners and how to do it, watch that game, Joel versus Leo, because your man slotted a lot of balls.
Yeah.
It was very entertaining to watch. I mean, good on you, bro, for hanging in there and staying solid and controlling the fifth.
Best I could.
Yep, so in the final tomorrow. That final game we thought would be closer. Tim went up a gear and then just hung on in the end, really, didn't he?
Yeah. Did very well to close it out and stay professional. He looked like he lost a little bit of momentum early on, going short a little bit too early, but ultimately finding his length when it mattered, to be honest, at the end.
Yeah.
So, credit to him for that.
So we look forward to the finals tomorrow. We start with Jack playing Michael, and then we've got Lance against Glenn. Glenn would probably fancy that
It's a juicy one.
because, Lance has had a couple of hard matches, and Glenn started to play a bit better, so he'll probably fancy that. And then in our 3-4 playoff, we have the perennial junior match-off, which is Elijah versus Leo. They have played each other a billion times.
Yeah. Always a good match.
It's always a good
between the
match,
two.
yeah, absolutely. And
Good
the things I
contrast.
have to say, I like the way Leo's playing in this tournament, and maybe it's because of the format of the tournament, but often when he gets behind, he looks a bit hangdog sometimes, and he's looked like that today, but he still keeps trying and firing it in and going for it and putting everything into it. So I'm certainly enjoying seeing him push hard all the way through these matches, and so I'm looking forward to that one. And then it's the bunkmates again in the final, and someone had a much easier match, short of 3, but it was pretty intense, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll wait and see you tomorrow.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, bro. Take care. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you tomorrow.